David Lee Roth. He's a grandmaster. Working with him was like getting a PhD in showbiz. He really knows the depth of it. Drummer for Vixen, Roxy Petrucci. We had her in on the tryouts for drums for Dave. I said, Dave, this girl, she's really great. I could see him going, how can I stick it to Alex? Initially, we were going to use Steve Stevens.
Really?
Yeah, Dave called me.
This is David Lee Roth era, clearly.
Yeah.
And you guys you're still with the Mars VO. And
Absolutely.
Vi's wearing a Vixen shirt, am I right?
He's what?
He's wearing a Vixen shirt, right?
Yeah, his wife was in Vixen.
Wife's in Vixen.
Pia,
right,
yeah.
exactly.
She was a bass player.
So around that time, I guess, they were
Matter of
together?
fact, the drummer for Vixen, Roxy Petrucci, we had her in on the tryouts for drums for Dave.
No way.
And I remember we went home and said, Dave, this girl, she's really great. And I could see him going,
Really?
How can I stick it to Alex? Even by getting a girl drummer, he ended up not doing it. But
was it close?
But she was good enough. We said she could probably do the gig, And then Greg Bissonette came along, and he was, he was the full package.
Wow.
And undisputable. But it was kind of cool that she was probably second in running of all the people we checked out.
Wow, and that would have really been ahead of its time because you didn't see that often. You had girl metal bands, but you didn't have female players in, guy bands.
And
primarily guy
she
bands.
still is a rock solid, great player, really great, dear friend of mine.
Wow,
Fantastic.
very cool.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
There he is.
Oh, look at that!
Photo by, does it say? Niels Lozauer. There he is.
Oh, look at those shoes! Where'd you get those shoes?
Oh, L.A. at the time was a cornucopia of amazing things to wear. I think they're still in the. I kept an archive of all my old stuff. And I got most everything. So there's going to be a big sale for the fans coming up pretty soon. And cheap prices, too. I don't want to... But I got all this memorabilia. What am I going to do with it? So the fans of Roth and Mr. Big and Talus and all that, I'm going to sell it all or donate it all or something. So I think those shoes might very well be in a plastic garbage bag.
Oh my
gosh! In my storage room now.
If you need any help setting up the auction or marketing or maybe doing some pieces just too exclusively to Masters of Shred, and we can offer them for sale for you, we would love to be a part of that.
Cool.
We love that stuff. It's
cool.
so nostalgic. It's so cool.
Or to some charity or something as well.
Yes, something like that. Yes, very cool. And this is a big year for you, clearly. You're now touring in arenas with probably one of the craziest stage shows anyone had ever seen.
Oh, it was a riot.
Right?
I mean, eat him a smile. Yep.
You got all sorts of crazy shit flying in and around, whether it's, you got surfboards, all wackiness, cool stuff, though. Talk about stage shows, though. You got your money's worth back then, didn't you?
Well, David Lee Roth, he's a grandmaster. He really is. Working with him was like getting a PhD in showbiz. He really knows the depth of it. And he knows he was the greatest rock frontman ever, in my humble opinion, and gave me my break.
Yeah.
And I'm here where I am today, not large in part to what he did for me. So I can never do anything but praise him from what I've learned from him, and quite an amazing time. He's quite a phenomenon of nature.
So we hear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty incredible. And know that you guys were his pick, you and Steve Vai. That's a huge moment because, I mean, let's be real. He's leaving Van Halen, arguably one of the most groundbreaking guitarists of that time, and he's got to find guys to fill those shoes and come out with a bang.
Yep.
And you're in there with Steve Vai.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Could be two bigger guys at that point.
Initially, we were going to use Steve Stevens.
Really?
Yeah, Dave called me, and I was first in. And I guess Steve knew that he had a great thing with Billy Idol, and Steve Stevens is just an incredible guitarist. I've heard some of his things that he does outside of Billy Idol. It's just great. And Billy Idol, too, is iconic. Really good too. Yeah. Great. He's just a wonderful guy, too. Matter of fact, I almost started a band with him after I left David Lee Roth before I started Mr. Big.
Really?
So when Steve wasn't going to do it, I told Dave, hey, I know another Steve. And Steve Vai and I were going to maybe work together because we're both on the same label, Relativity Records. Yeah. So, but I had to keep everything so secret. So I was out one night at the Rainbow, and Steve was there. I go, Steve, how's it going? Good to see you. He goes, I said to him, there might be a gig coming up that you might be interested in. I can't talk about it. He goes, I think I know what you're talking about. And so sure enough, we had him down, and the perfect guy for the Frank Zappa kind of sense of humor and all that. So pretty amazing.
And I'm sure Dave liked it when he heard him make his guitar talk, right?
Oh, that was great.
Dave's like, this is what I needed. This is perfect.
Yeah,
No,
this
no,
is
I don't think anybody had done it at that point. And just like, he's as quirky and wacky cool as Eddie was with this stuff, right?
I think I have one of the early takes where Dave is saying different things other than, hey, let's roll up on the sidewalk and take a look. It was different.
Really?
Steve does something. He says something about your girlfriend. It's pretty funny. So I gotta wait till I can ever sneak that stuff out to the public. But
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that'd be so great! Wow, what a crazy time. So you're talking out about your practice regimen, your warm ups for your hands, stuff like that. You said you tried drums for about a week. Realized you couldn't get the drum set because it was too expensive. But stuff like that,
Yeah.
your upbringing, because this is your first full cover.
Yes, sir.
So the world's being introduced to Billy Sheehan, and it goes on here, and you talk about how much you love great rhythm players.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is important. That's what we actually put a little bit of on there. So it was so great for you to work with Steve. And then you guys talk about how you guys used to solo together, where instead of taking your own solo spot, you guys would exchange it and kind of duel each other like wrestling you refer to it as.
And that was Dave's idea.
Really?
We started out, bang, and I do my solo. Hey, we do a few more songs. Steve would do his solo. And Dave, we had about 2 or 3 shows. Dave goes, hey, it's not working for me. He goes, here's what we're going to do. We'll have Steve, you go out and start doing your solo. Billy, you come from behind and stop him, push him aside, and you do your thing. And then Steve comes back and pushes you. And then you push each other. And then you chase each other back and forth. And then, brilliant. Worked perfectly. The audience went out of their mind. Because people didn't know what to think. I come walking up behind Steve while he's doing his amazing, and I reach over and just stop him. And he, of course,
right.
I'm not an actor and never will be, but we did our best. He's all pissed off and
right.
upset that I stopped this playing. And then I start doing my thing, and the crowd roars a little bit. He comes up and pushes me. Well, yeah, what's this? That was all Dave's idea.
And you could keep that going for a long time because people didn't have the internet where they could go post the picture and give it away. And word wouldn't travel that fast unless you had a monthly publication. You'd wait 30 days for.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
So, wow, you get away with a lot more back then.
Pre-internet, word of mouth.
Better times, huh?
How do you pay tribute to one of the greatest guitarists from one of the greatest rock bands of all time?
Tone Arts USA proudly brings to you the ultimate addition to your shred den, the limited edition Super Halen 1x12 stack.
Draped in the pages of a vintage 1990 Van Halen comic book, the Super Halen is a showpiece that can rock like no other.
Handcrafted by Tone Arts master luthier Sam Hill, no 2 Super Halen amps are the same.
Each cabinet is scientifically crafted with the highest grade materials to give you that monstrous tone that will light up the sky. It's fully loaded with a 12-inch USA-made Green Beret speaker, a total upgrade from the Celestion G12M greenbacks that we've become so accustomed to.
Each cabinet is closed back just like Eddie's, but Tone Arts USA does offer an optional open back if your heart desires.
Visit www.mastersofshred.com now to reserve yours today before you can't get this stuff no more.